Hello, everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. Today, let me fix this table. We're going to talk about some corrections to yesterday's demo on bias. I was in contact with a couple of different people who are a lot more educated than I am. And they said to me that my examples involve perception and not bias. Okay, but you know what? I'm going to be honest when I say it. It was what I was taught, and that's the way I was raised. Because I am basically a Litchfield hillbilly. Basically, that was the way I was raised. That was what I was taught bias was. However, to come up with an updated version of that story, I'm going to talk about the no passing one. I have to add some things to it that is going to complicate things a lot more than I wanted to add originally to the story. But, and I know someone say it really sounds more like what I'm going to add is going to make it sound more like revenge. But we're going to please keep this understand that not everybody sees things the way an academic does. And so because of that, what is simple enough for me to explain to my brothers and sisters out in the everyday street, an academic, of course, is taught a much different way of looking at a situation. So, let's try to see if we can make the no passing story a little more detailed and possibly where bias can come in. Now, Joe and Susie were boyfriend and girlfriends. They were high school sweethearts. And he decided, for reasons that we do not know in the story, and it does not matter, he decides to dump her. Now, of course she's mad. She doesn't like the fact that she was dumped by him. So, of course, she wants revenge. So, yes, there's a revenge part, so listen carefully, guys. So, but she happens to see that Joe passes a note to Paul. Now, she doesn't know what the note says. She doesn't care. It's during the exam. And like I said, she wants to get Joe in trouble. So, she goes ahead and she tells the teacher quietly that Joe is passing a note to Paul. Now, the teacher, who has a lot of respect for Susie, because Susie is her better student in the class, is willing to take her word for it. So Susie says that she thinks Joe is giving Paul cheats. Now, that may not be the case. In this case, it certainly wasn't, because Joe just wanted to ask Paul in a quick little note, are you going to the after-school football game? It was the last class that they would be together for the day, and he wanted to get a note in real quick, because unfortunately, maybe Joe and Paul, as I said, that's their last class. They don't know if they're going to be seeing each other before the football game. So, the teacher calls the two out. And she also, of course, officially calls out Susie, because Susie obviously is the actual student that saw this. So as a teacher, she has to make a decision. Now, she actually didn't see the note, because Paul didn't keep the note. He just read it, stuffed it in his shirt. Okay. He was going to respond to it, but he never got a chance to. So, everybody went to go into the principal's office, The teacher tells the principal that Susie saw Joe passing a note to Paul during the history exam. And she thinks that Susie is right, that Joe and Paul are cheating. There's no note here. No one's seen the note. No one has the note. Okay? In other words, you're going to say it's conjecture. Yes, there is conjecture. Okay? But she believes so much in Susie's answer is the right one that no matter how much Joe and Paul try to explain that was not the case. Now, you might say to yourself, why doesn't Paul just take the note out of his shirt pocket and show it to the teacher? Well, maybe he does. But you know what? The teacher says, I don't believe you. I know Susie's right, because Susie's my best student and she's the most observant in my class. So now, their point is now, I didn't want to go to this level of complexity because now everything is so confusingly twisted now. You have to sit there and really pick at it. And the same is true with media. I as I said, I swore up and down I didn't want to go there. With this getting things example, it was so complicated that most of the people that I know would be a bit, flustered. Remember one thing too, please, okay, that the average day person does not see things the way an academic person will. Okay, they don't see it the same way. Their way of seeing the world is a lot less academic. I mean, what I was taught bias was someone says it's perception. And what I was, obviously, maybe that's true. Maybe I misunderstood. But the car accident story certainly is not necessarily free of bias. Or is it? Again, in my group, you would see the term bias referring to, in this case, is that one news story may be more preferred over the other because it's considered more factual than the other one. But, we in the lower trenches don't think like academics. We're not academics. So I'm not going to say that my definition of bias is correct. But I'm just saying is that sometimes people think it's correct, depending on which age group or which culture group you belong to. I want to, but for some reason I keep coming up with horrifically terrible examples. And every time I come up with examples, they have a horrible habit of basically causing more dissension on my channel than I want. And I don't want that. And so I want to share some good ideas and good topics, but to be honest, guys, some of the stuff that I'm being kind of getting into right now lately is not in my comfort zone. It really is not. I can help you with electronics. I can help you understand electronics and mechanical things, but seriously, some of the new stuff that I've been discussing is way more complicated than I'm used to. You want to say something? First of all, Ruben whatever asked you, or was it on the wire asked you, he said, what does Mother Asna think? What has Mother Asna told you about climate change? Honestly, Mother Asna actually never specifically mentioned climate change to me in the sense of telling me to worry about if the earth is warming or cooling. But she's told me that it's best to prepare and do the best I can. And that she suggested that I should look at the information that I have and keep up with the various channels that I do. And to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That may not seem like much of an answer, but honestly, guys, it's probably the most downright honest answer we have. We are seeing damage to hardwood red wheat, the winter wheat crops in the United States because of the deep freeze that we've had around January has caused a lot of damage to crops. The protein output of the red wheat is going, in hardwood and wheat, is going to be much lower, according to David Byrne of Adapt 2030, as if the crops aren't actually unusable at all. We're seeing the same thing with Asia. We're seeing crop failures actually globally in all kinds of countries. So the most important thing that Mother's trying to tell me is not so much to worry about if it's warming or cooling, is to prepare for hard times ahead. And in my case, she does agree that you should definitely have a winter gear, jackets, gloves, boots, whatever, everything. You should have those things anyway, especially here in New England. It does snow a lot. We get a lot of cold nights. And we should have all those things. So those things should already be part of your wardrobe anyway. But the thing is in the last few years, so many people have gotten so, especially because we have had a couple mild winters. And those winters are becoming, a thing of the past. Right now, as I said, it's minus 6 degrees Celsius, but the wind chill brings it down to minus 14. Now, for those of you Fahrenheiters out there, take minus 6, multiply it by 2, and subtract 32 from it. That's 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? That's just a rough, way of doing the formula. It's not the actual official way, which is take C, multiply it by 5 over 9. Multiply by 9 over 5. Something like that. Yeah. 9 over 5. And then add or subtract 32. Okay? Or something like that. But the point here is it's been colder than it has been in a long time. We're seeing, compared to 2 years ago, 2 winters ago, we're seeing colder temperatures right now during February 1st. They're not super bad, but it's not the point. Is that so many people are not prepared for any of the basic needs. And because of that, what Mother pointed out is still poignant, is that you should have the things that you're going to need. You should have some extra food on hand. You should have some warm comforters, blankets, in case your utilities fail. Before my landlord switched to natural gas in his building, there was times he ran out of heating oil. And when he ran out of heating oil, especially on the weekends, the oil man could not always make a delivery until Monday. And so we would have sometimes a day or two with no heat. And we would have to basically run electric heaters to compensate for the loss of heat, or wearing a lot of clothes and put a lot of extra blankets on the bed. That is very true. Okay? And it happens, of course, anytime that you have to deal with that issue. It's a serious issue. If you're smart, you have backups. You have plans. If you are unfortunately ill-prepared, don't have the proper kind of clothing, do not have backup energy reserves, you're gonna freeze. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna die. That's not gonna change. Don't let these people out there tell you that the earth is warming when you can see, and this is it, local perspective. When we see things locally, we can see that my thermometer outside says minus 6 degrees Celsius does not mean I don't care if it's supposed to be getting warmer or not, because when I see it's minus 6 degrees Celsius, I'm still going to need to wear a jacket and gloves and a hat. That's not going to change. And I looked at the long-term trends, and yes, the Earth is cooling. But again, the most important thing you should do is always plan to have supplies and essentials you need. It doesn't matter if it's warming or cooling. There are some things that you're going to need for either situation. For example, if the power grid failed today, do you have backup heating system? Do you have wood? Do you have coal? Especially if it's really cold outside. If you don't, and the infrastructure fails, is it global warming or not, global cooling or not, you're still going to die. That doesn't change. There are some things, obviously, we can't prepare for. Because, number one, we have no idea when they're going to happen. We don't know, for example, when a solar corona mass ejection could seriously cause enough energy, so much to occurrence an event that could destroy our power grids. We don't know that. We have no control over the sun. Just as we don't have any control over what happens to our economic situation if the economy globally takes a downturn. These are things that we can't plan for. They're just things that come up. And so that's where having a emergency supplies is always important to have. Because it's going to be the thing that's going to keep you and your family safe. Now, so to answer your question, Ruben, Mother has just said to me is prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. And to make your best efforts to make the best decisions. Don't forget, tomorrow will be the Spirituality Marathon. It's going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's technically a little shorter than 4 hours, but I think maybe about 30 minutes. But it's going to be long enough that a lot of you will enjoy it if you're into spirituality discussions. Of course, I will be checking on the live stream as I go, and also checking on the messages to see if there is any. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to be able to keep up with every message, especially if tons of messages come in. But I will do the best I can to periodically check things and see what is being said. Because the live stream sources are coming from my hard drive and not YouTube playlist. It may run a little, might seem to run a little choppy, a little clunky. But you know what? You can always go back to the playlist. And you can always watch the spirituality playlist yourself. There's a lot of good videos out there that my live stream doesn't cover. So, check it out. And see how things are going. Alright, and don't forget also, lastly, we have a live stream on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And that, I hope they have another successful live stream. It's a little warm in here, so I'm a little tired. But basically, I hope you have another successful live stream on Sunday at 7 o'clock. So, please do be part of the audience. If you can watch, that's the important thing. You don't have to be part of the chat. And for those people who are watching the chat, okay, I want you to know that I'm not going to be able to answer every single question that comes up. Sometimes it's just best not to try to answer every single question because it only confuses everybody. Please also keep in mind that there's a bit of a delay between when I see your questions and by the time you see my responses. So, please do not think I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. Maybe we should try responding more questions. I could try. Yeah. And I didn't get the best of sleep last night, so I wouldn't get. Just want to wrap this up and say I'll see you guys later. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything stupid, and we'll see you tomorrow on Sunday. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.